Hello, all right, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be talking about a video that I've been sent a few times, and I'm glad that you guys sent it to me because I think that it's a very, very good video, and it talks about something that I think is super important. As you can see, though, these lovely people here on the side of the screen, I'm recording this live. I stream on Twitch very, very frequently, not like every day, but pretty frequently. So if you're ever bored and you are someone that likes Twitch streams, come by. It'll be linked in the description. It's a good time. Today's video that we are going to be talking about is titled "Weight Loss is Expensive, but Fat Acceptance Isn't. Be for real." And so without further ado, let's just get into it. So this is the creator right here. Her name is Alana Melissa. We've actually talked about her before on the channel a few years ago, actually. It's been a while. But I really liked the video that she put out at that time, and basically it's the same thing here. I just want to add my opinion to what she talks about here. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm on like video 3 in this outfit and this makeup. Y'all gonna have to bear with me. Like I said in my previous video, I'm catching up with content. So God, Jesus. Here we go.
That's honestly unacceptable. Okay. I mean, who would do that?
Today's video is going to be an observation that I've had of the fat acceptance community and a refute to a claim that I see a lot on these videos. But today's video is going to be about the idea of weight loss being expensive, being capitalist, or like fueling a capitalist system. And I did touch on this in a very popular video that I have, which is, calling out the HAES movement. But I want to expand on that a little bit more about the finances of weight loss.
This is something that I hear a lot, right? Is like, it's too expensive for me to lose weight. And I want to make it clear, I understand where that mentality is coming from, and we will get into that. I understand that, okay? I grew up incredibly poor, all right? I've talked about it before on the channel. We were very poor when I was growing up. We had no money, food stamps, Section 8 housing, government, all that stuff, right? We didn't have much money. But I was still able to lose weight while being incredibly poor. So I do think that it's possible. But let's just...
If this is your first time watching me, then hello. My name is Alana Melissa. I post lifestyle content here on YouTube. Definitely feel free to subscribe. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. And also follow me.
Everyone watching this video, go subscribe, all right? Link in the description.
On Instagram and TikTok. Also at Alana Melissa. The TikTok with an extra A on the end. So... let's get into it. Weight loss, fat acceptance, and finances. Oh my. Here's the claim. I'm going to be very succinct in this video. Here's the claim. A lot of fat acceptance people and body positivity people say that weight loss, or the idea of actively losing weight, is fueled by capitalism, is fueled by like money, like the desire to make money. And I actually believe that it is the opposite. I personally believe that I believe that fat acceptance fuels capitalism and fuels the ability for large companies to make bank off the back of the American public in particular.
I think, in my opinion, I think both of these are true, okay? So, like, I think that there absolutely is a ton of money to be made in weight loss, right? The weight loss industry is huge. But also, I think that there is a ton of money to be made in the, fat acceptance movement, and there's a ton of money made to be in the gym movement. All of those things are true. I think that that's 100%, right? Like, I think there's money to be made in all of these aspects, and people will, whenever there's money to be made, people will be crappy about making that money, right?
So let's get right into it. First things first, and I actually need to open up my laptop for this. I have so much tech. I have a laptop and a computer. I gave my iPad to my nephew. I'm like I'm decked down in Apple gear. It's actually disgusting. But for a content creator, it's probably like the best decision I made. What I wanted to look up was the revenue from the fitness industry. This is from ibisworld.com. The market size measured by revenue of the gym, health, and fitness clubs industry is $30.8 billion. I believe that's in USD. in 2023, right? So that is a lot of money spent in the fitness industry, but I'm going to break that down, and I'm going to break down how you as a consumer can make not just weight loss, but can make health and a healthy lifestyle fit into your life and your budget. And then we're going to talk about things like the fast food industry, because from my perspective, a lot of the people in the fat acceptance community say things like, oh, I should be allowed to eat whatever fast food I want, or I should be able to do this, that, and the third. But they lean heavily on fast food, and I believe that there is a reason for that. And I'm going to get to that in a second. But
I get so frustrated when they'll be like, oh, see how it's impossible to lose weight, because they'll compare, like they'll go to Wendy's or something, right? And they'll say the salad at Wendy's is X amount of dollars, but to get a burger is like blah. It's like, are you only eating fast food? Like, yeah, a salad at Wendy's is expensive, but getting the ingredients for a salad at the store is not that expensive. Like, it's frustrating when people will look at like one thing and they're like, see, the salad here is more expensive. And it's like, yeah, okay, don't go there. Like, if you want a salad, don't go to Wendy's,
For reference, and I should actually screenshot this, the fast food, according to pos.toasttab.com, and I don't know where they get their information, so I'm going to have to do further looking into this. But according to that website, the fast food restaurants in the United States earned $278.6 billion in revenue in 2021. And I think those numbers speak for themselves. So you have the fitness industry that earned $30.8 billion. I'll screenshot that as well. And then you have the fast food industry that earned $278.6 billion. Literally, the numbers don't lie. They speak for themselves. And even if those figures are off, they can't be so off as to the fact where they flipped. So $278 billion, you're gonna
so basically the point that she's making here, right, is that the fast food industry is making more money than the fitness industry. That's like the point that's being made.
Have leaps and bounds of numbers and dollars and revenues as compared to 30.8 billion. So even if those numbers are off, that'll be like splitting.
I love her accent.
Here's at this point. Keep those figures in your head while we talk about the fat acceptance community. Now, I've seen fat acceptance creators complain about the cost of gyms, and I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to make this real simple. If you have a Planet Fitness near you, it's $10 a month. $10 a month costs less than like a McDonald's meal at this point in the inflated world that we live in. Even if you don't have a Planet Fitness near you, even if you don't have a cheap gym near you, you can purchase weights. You can keep the weights at home. They don't have to be extreme weights. And to be 100% with you guys, you don't have to buy anything to work out.
That's true. 100%. And I always say, when we're talking about losing weight, it happens in the kitchen, right? Focus on what you are eating, right? Like, I truly believe that you absolutely can save money by trying to lose weight. But even if you want to go to the gym and you decide to go to, 24-hour fitness, which is like around $50 a month, right? I think if you're using it frequently, I think that is worth it, obviously. But even if you don't want to spend the money to go to a gym, like I've always said, walking is the best form of exercise, especially if you are coming from being incredibly overweight where you can't really do much anyways. I would say stick to walking for a while until you lose some weight and then start going to the gym, right? Like, again, everyone's different. Some people are going to feel comfortable in the gym right away and they're going to want to start going to the gym and they're going to be like, I want to go to the gym because that helps me feel motivated. And that's great. And there are some people that are like, I'm terrified to go to the gym and that's not even something that I want to do. It's just, again, you can, of course, you can always find a reason why it's hard for you. Of course. Like, if there was something that I wanted to do, but I kind of didn't want to, I could always find a reason why I don't have the time or I don't of course. You don't have to buy anything. You barely even have to buy exercise clothes. You most likely have a pair of stretch pants and a t-shirt that you clean the bathroom in. You have those in your closet. I really don't think you have to. All the things that we do in the fitness industry is optional, 100% optional. Like,
if you really want to, if you want to spend $0 and you already have working internet, and I assume that you do because you see me here, if you already have working internet, there are so many content creators on YouTube that post workout content for free. Let's say by some random chance you don't have internet, or it's not.
Man, I mean, people, come on. If you're watching the video, you have internet. But yeah, I agree with this. This is something that I've always said. Like, people are like, oh, I don't know what to do at the gym. There are plenty of YouTube videos that will show you the basics, right, to start. And I really, really think that people don't realize how, like, I'm going to sound like a hater, but whatever. Like, a lot of times the personal trainers at, like, your local gym, compared to some, like, people on YouTube that are, like, vetted, and, you know, they have a lot of people that follow them that, like, a lot of times those personal trainers at your local gym, they don't know what they're doing. Okay. They're new. They're brand new. Like, all right, I'm going to stop because people are going to get mad at me, but just, like, people on YouTube know what they're talking about a lot of times. All right. You do your research and find out who those people are, but they know what they're talking about.
Consistent. So you can't always watch somebody on YouTube. You know damn well the basic exercises that you can do to get, I would say, a decent body weight workout. You use your own body as its own weight. You do your push-ups, you do your sit-ups, you do your crunches. There are modified versions you can do if you lack mobility. All of that exists. Personally, I feel like if you're able-bodied, there's no excuse to not pursue fitness. And I think it can only bring good.
So it says here, I've been working out consistently for over a year. Even though I have a long way to go, I have endured setbacks. I'm very glad I started. My energy has improved, as well as my mood, libido, and strength. My 2023 goal is to get my PCOS and nutrition in order. I'd love to see it.
To you. So why would you be upset with it? Like, why would you be upset that companies provide access for people to, you know, to experience fitness in different ways? You know, like me personally, I am a fan of weightlifting. I've been weightlifting for a year now, which is so funny because last year I realized that I had put on 10 pounds, but I realized that I went down a dress size. So I put on 10 pounds of muscle, which made me feel really good. The people who are spending all this money on fitness, they opt in. Everyone knows you can do home workouts. We were doing them during the pandemic. That's actually how I got my start in pursuing a fitness journey, was through the pandemic, through doing home workouts, through the gym being closed, and me realizing that no, keeping a consistent workout routine is actually going to help me feel better as a person, feel better within my body, and to move more. That movement is good for you. Yeah, so like
I like at the end of the day, like, this video for me is more encouraging than anything, because I really do think it shows, like, I remember having that, like, moment where you're just like, I like doing this. Like, this actually brings me joy. And I know if you're someone that is super far removed from that, and, like, the thought of going to the gym or working out just sounds dreadful, you might think to yourself, like, that's impossible. It'll never get there. Trust me, like, I was the kid, like, I hated working out. I didn't like going to the gym at the start, like, but eventually, I don't know exactly when it happened, but, like, it became something that I truly enjoyed. And, like, when that happens, I mean, it's just, I don't know how to explain. It's life-changing. Like, as cheesy as that might sound, whatever, bro. It is. It changed my life, right? And I want more people to find that. Like, I want more people to find joy in moving their body. 100%.
To me, if you really want to make your fitness cost $0, it can be $0. It can. How do you explain people in prison? How do you explain people who come out of prison jacked? They don't have money in there. They're not.
They got that ramen noodle, you know, that ramen noodle workout. All right.
Going to the drive-thru. They're not going to Equinox, and they're not going to Crunch Fitness or whatever. They're literally working out in their cell block, or on the yard, or whatever the hell prison people do. Like, bro, make your life make sense. Make your claims make sense. I feel like a lot of the people on TikTok that get upset about the fitness industry, a lot of it comes from laziness. I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of it comes from laziness. And furthermore, you don't have to be a stick figure to go to the gym. You don't have to be a size 2 to enjoy yourself in the gym. I wear a 14, 16, and I enjoy myself. I go to the gym. Let's see, before my cousin's passing, I was going to the gym 4 times a week, and then I took a break because I was grieving, which I said like 2 videos ago. I was grieving, and so I just got back into going about 3 times a week, and I feel so much better now. Like, pursuing a fitness journey really has a lot more benefits than just weight loss or fat loss or whatever. It has so much more benefits than that. Another thing I've noticed about...
I mean, and one thing that, like, people don't realize is it is, like, a way to find community. Like, I'm not saying you have to go to the gym and find a bunch of friends and talk to everybody. But if you're going there long enough, eventually you will find connections. Whether it doesn't even have to be, like, really strong connections where you're, like, hanging out with people outside of the gym. But just seeing someone and smiling at them. Like, it sounds cheesy, but, like, for me, I've been going to the same 24-hour fitness for almost 10 years now, right? And for most of that time, I have always been a very, like, I'm focused. I don't want to talk to anybody when I'm here. I just want to focus on myself. Like, I'm doing my own thing. But recently, I have opened up and I've been talking to more people. And I don't spend my entire session talking to everybody. But I will say that it is a nice feeling going to the gym and people coming up and just like, oh, it's good to see you, right? Oh, it's good to see you. Like, oh, how are you? How's everything going? Like, I had a friend of mine that recently went through something pretty traumatic. A friend of his passed away, and I was able to talk to him about it. And he told me, like, I appreciate you asking about this, like, consistently, right? And that made me feel good, right? Maybe that's selfish, but it made me feel good that I was able to do that for someone that I don't really know. I know him from the gym, right? And all of those things, like community, I just feel like community is one of those things that is so overlooked. And I think it's something that most people search for, whether or not you're doing it on purpose or not. I think it's just a natural human thing to want. You know, you want to be around others and share in something. And I feel like the gym is one of those things. And, like, there's plenty of people at my gym that don't look like they go to the gym. And, like, I see bigger people there all the time. And I'm not, like, going up to them like, hey, brother, good job. Like, I just wanted to, I don't say anything to them. But I'm like, it's good to see you here and you belong here, right?
Like, the claims about the finances of intentional weight loss is the food cost, right? So, remember, I brought up the $278.6 billion in fast food revenue. When you, and I'll be clear, you can lose weight by eating fast food, but I wouldn't recommend it because the food isn't actually good for you. Like, it's not, there's no nutritional value. I saved money when I stopped eating fast food. Mm-hmm. Let me rephrase that. When I slowed down on fast food, because I still eat some fast food. I'm gonna be fucking real with y'all. I eat a little Popeyes every now and then. But I saved money when I started to cook for myself. Mm-hmm. I actually have chicken downstairs defrosting that I'm gonna go make in like 2 hours. But yeah, I saved money by buying my own groceries and by simplifying my life. I think a lot of people, when they talk about the expenses of buying healthy food, I think they talk about it with this idea that you have to shop like an influencer.
This is it right here. Dude, this point gets me so frustrated when I do my full day of eatings, y'all, I did one recently, right? And like, I'm very appreciative because a lot of the comments are very nice, right? They're like, I appreciate that you're doing these. It shows something that's real. You know, you don't like, my food's not fancy. A lot of people wouldn't want to eat how I eat, and that's fine. I'm not trying to force anyone. But the reason that I do the full day of eatings is because I want to show people that, like, my diet is boring. I like it. Again, it's not going to be for everybody, but it works for me. And look, I've been able to maintain this weight loss for a long period of time, and this is what I eat, right? It ain't fancy, it's not expensive, but it works, right? And that's why I get so frustrated when I see these full day of eatings of people spending hours making food, and it's like organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, freaking taste-free, booty-free. It's all free of everything. But what's not free of is price. It's expensive as hell, right? And so I'm just like, dude, this isn't realistic. Like, no one is eating like this realistically every day, right? They are eating like this because it's a video that they're going to get views on, and they want to make it look pretty. And it's like, it's just not necessary. And then people get this misconception of eating healthy is going to be expensive, and it's got all this stuff. Like, I'm sorry, I get frustrated because it's just not necessary. It's not. Like, you can find simple things that are not that expensive that work for you, right?
And you don't have to shop like an influencer. You have to shop in a way that makes sense for you. And there's nothing wrong with eating a sandwich. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. There is nothing wrong with eating a sandwich.
Bro, I be eating sandwiches every day.
Nothing. Granted, don't go to the deli like the rest of New York. Don't. The deli is not. It's not good for you. But like a regular ham and cheese or a turkey and cheese sandwich with some tomato, there's nothing. That sandwich is what, like 400 calories, maybe 3 something. You can eat a sandwich. It doesn't have to be a grand meal. It really doesn't. And I don't understand people talk about, oh, it's so expensive. No, it doesn't have to. You make things expensive. Mm-hmm. When I was a broke college student and I was peeling myself away from fast food and I had to start cooking for myself. That's when I really started cooking, was college. I got into the habit of buying long life foods, right? And like, listen, I hate rice. I hate it with a passion, but I shit you not, rice will keep you fed. Rice will keep you fed. Why? Because
I will say I don't appreciate this rice slander. All right, rice is delicious. Okay, don't be talking about rice like that. All right. But we got some problems.
Rice lasts forever. My parents buy like the 20-pound bags. We've got that. Yo, them bags be lasting, man. That's like a whole like 6 months. You still have a 20-pound bag of rice.
It's true.
Eat rice. Eat potato. I eat potato.
Potato is, dude, that's another one that it has become like demonized. For some reason, sweet potatoes okay, but regular potatoes, oh my god, that's terrible for you. The glucose and the index and the spiking of the insulin and yada yada. Potatoes are good, bro. They'll keep you full. They're good. Don't be afraid of potatoes, okay? And rice and bread. Obviously, if you eat too much of it and you're in a surplus, then yeah, that's not good. But just don't do that.
Potatoes. Sometimes I will just make like grilled chicken with potato. Boom, that's a full meal. Like, it doesn't have to be a big-ass 3-course meal. That's a full meal. That's a satisfying meal. Some chicken and some potato is a satisfying meal. Season it how you want. Do with it what you will. Sometimes I'll do chicken and pasta. Pasta lasts forever. Like, make shit work for you.
I want to make it clear for those of y'all that are stupid like me, okay? What she's saying is that the dry rice and the dry potatoes, before you cook them in pasta, last forever. Don't be cooking rice and put it in your fridge for 2 weeks and being like, oh, it lasts. Don't do that. All right. You're going to get salmonellas and you're going to be in the bathroom. Don't do that. All right. The dry ingredients last a long time and then you cook them. Okay. I just want to make that clear for some of y'all out there that are, like me. Okay.
Obviously those are all carbs. And if you're low carb, you'll have to figure it out. I will say, in my experience, low carb is a little more expensive than like regular to high carb, but it can still work. Cabbage lasts me a very long time, or I'll just like buy lettuce on like a weekly basis.
That, and then frozen fruits, right? Like a lot of us, we feel like, oh, the fruit or vegetables, if they're frozen, it does. Nah, dude. Frozen fruit and vegetables are okay. They're fine. They are fine, right? A lot of people will argue that they're actually better because they're freeze at the peak of freshness. I'm not going to get into all that, but I will say I don't think that's any worse than it not being frozen. And then it lasts for a long time. You don't have to worry about it going bad. There you go, man.
And that is how I keep costs down. Like nothing, it doesn't have to be all kale. Kale is expensive. Why am I buying kale? I don't even like kale. It doesn't have to be like that.
Kale makes me so bloated, dude. Oh my god, like not cooked kale. Oh, whenever I eat it, my belly is humongous, dude.
And like, do what makes sense for you. You know how you have your leftovers. Soups go a long way. Like I made a vegetable soup on Monday. Shit lasted me till Wednesday.
Oh, dude, don't talk about soup. My girlfriend, she'll talk about soup for 3 hours straight, bro.
I'm going to say this, and people aren't going to like this, but I feel like a lot of people complain about finances, and the ones that complain about finances have a lack of self-control. That's genuinely how I feel. I feel like it's always the people who are bad with money that complain about money. There it is. I said it. I'm not taking it back either. But yeah, that's really like the gist of how I feel about like the cost of the fitness industry and the cost to intentionally lose weight. I've lost a little bit of weight. I will say I could have done a lot better in 2022, but that's why life goes on and that's why you try again. 2023 so far has been a struggle. Like you guys know, I did lose a cousin and it was a very traumatic loss. So my eating habits were not the best. In January, I will say I cleaned up my act in February for sure. I was like, we have to, like, you've done your crying, you've done your ice cream eating. Let's round it up. But yeah, a lot of the things that we buy, we don't have to. I think most people, if they look at what they eat, they're like, I didn't have to buy a lot of this stuff. And I guess, like, to round this off, that's what really confuses me, because, like, I'm not saying every fat person has an addiction to fast food. I certainly don't. But a lot of the people on TikTok that I see complain, they eat a lot. I see them eat a lot of fast food, like copious amounts. And for one, I feel like that's more expensive than buying groceries. And then not to mention the long-term cost of being excessively overweight doesn't make sense to me as well, because, like, it's the constant doctor visits. Y'all know America's got a shitty healthcare system. Come on. The medication that can come from obesity-related diseases. None of that seems cheap. None of that seems cheaper or more cost-effective than trying to maintain a healthy weight and mobility and feeling good within yourself, Doesn't make any sense to me. It's like when people complain about having joint pain, but they're like 300 pounds. And I'm like, why do you think you have joint pain, bro? Why do you think you have joint pain? But yeah, man, that's
I obviously everything that she's saying I agree with to a certain extent. I do think that there are, like, genuine arguments to be made. And one thing that I have learned a lot about, and that I do think is important to at least bring up, especially in this video, is the fact about, like, food deserts. So if you are genuinely someone that is, really, really poor, like, like how I was when I was younger, or someone that just, like, you don't have much money and you live in a food desert. So what that is basically, this is a very basic explanation, but you live somewhere where there's no, like, supermarket in walking distance to you, right? So that's, like, basically a food desert. So you have maybe, like, a 7-Eleven close to you, but that's about it. You don't have a car. If a lot of you that live in America, you know how not walkable it is here. So you live in an area where it's really hard to get to a grocery store. So the only way you could do that is maybe by public transportation or something like that, where that's really difficult, right? Like, that really does make it harder, right? And so I do think that is something that should be addressed, and I wish there was an answer to that. But even then, right, even if you live somewhere where it would be classified as a food desert, I do think that there are ways that you can lose weight and keep it off, like 100%, right? And so again, I think that these things are important to talk about, at least bring up, because it is incredibly difficult to lose weight if you are in that position where you don't have access to a grocery store, and you don't have a car, and you don't have, like, it I will say, like, if you are truly in that position, it does make it harder, 100%. But I want to make it clear, right? If you're watching this video, that doesn't make it impossible. And I've talked about this before. Like, if it's something you really want, I believe that you can get it, okay? Like, I just want to make that clear.
That's all I got to say. Long story short, I don't feel like intentionally losing weight has to be expensive. I don't even feel like the fitness industry should be worth 30 whatever $billion. I don't think it has to be like that. I think people just like to have fancy gym stuff. I will say, I do feel like a lot of people get gym memberships and they don't go. So if you are one of those people, cancel your gym.
That's true.
Membership. What you need to do is learn to work out consistently before you consider going to a gym. So, like, and that's what I did, because during the pandemic, I had a Planet Fitness account, and they actually froze everyone's accounts, at least where I was, because nobody can go anyway, so we weren't being charged. And I was like, do I even need a gym membership? So I worked out consistently in my house, and then by the end, when they were open again, I decided, yes, I can keep going to the gym now, because I've made getting a workout in part of my almost daily routine. I don't work out.
I really like this advice, but also I want to talk about, like, the gym, like, the fact that the fitness industry is worth so much. I do think that there is a lot of predatory stuff in it, 100%, and we talk about it a lot on the channel, right? Like, there is a lot of predatory stuff, but there are also people that, when they have a something that they enjoy, they have a hobby, they want to spend money on it. That's me. Hello, look at all of this art stuff, right? I got into art and I bought so much art stuff. Do I need all of it? No, but I like to spend money on stuff that I enjoy. I just bought this gaming system. It's called a Steam Deck. Did I need a Steam Deck? No, I have this insane PC that I stream and make videos on. I have a laptop. I have a PS5. I have a Switch. Do I need to buy that? No, but I enjoy it, and so I spend money, and I don't feel bad about that, right? And it's the same thing with fitness. Some people that enjoy fitness, they spend a lot of money on it because they're just like, why not? Why not? I enjoy this. I want to spend money on it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with, if you enjoy something, spending money that isn't necessary, right? But if you are someone, say you want to get into gaming, all right, you don't have to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on an insanely expensive PC rig, right? You can spend, you know, a few $100s and have something that works fine. And then if you really enjoy it, then you can upgrade. It's the same thing with the gym. It's the same thing with fitness. You don't have to spend all of the money at the start to find out if you enjoy it. You can just spend a little bit, find out, oh, you know what? I like this. I've been going to Planet Fitness. It's only $10 a month. I enjoy it. I'm going to start going to 24-hour fitness, which is 50, you know, 30, 50, 70. I don't know how much it is a month, right? You don't have to go straight from 0 to 100 is what I'm trying to say.
On the weekends. I've made it part of my daily routine. And so I felt like it was appropriate to go back to the gym. If you're not that person, if you're not going to get your money's worth in the whatever gym you go to, don't go. You know, and I had an LA Fitness account.
And I want to make this clear too. And I'm cutting this video off a lot. You don't have to go to the gym if you don't want to. You can find plenty of other ways to be active that don't involve going to the gym. It doesn't have to be the gym, right? That's obviously what we're talking about here. But if you enjoy rock climbing, or you enjoy hiking, or you enjoy kayaking, or whatever, right? Running, whatever. Like, just find something that means that you're active, right? And all of that stuff is, I mean, I guess it's not free because you have to buy the stuff. But like, you know, running or walking or whatever, that stuff be free. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, there are ways to be active that doesn't mean that you're spending a lot of money.
Too. And it's like, I canceled that one because A, my living situation had changed, so it was like too expensive for me at the moment. But B, I wasn't using all of the features from that gym. I wasn't going to the classes. I wasn't swimming. I wasn't using the sauna. So like, it didn't make sense for me because the equipment I was using at LA Fitness, I could have just used at Planet Fitness. It was the same equipment. Like, people complain about Planet Fitness, but it's like, most of y'all aren't bodybuilders. Bro, unless you need to look jacked for a competition, which is very unhealthy. You don't need to deadlift, bro.
It's just funny because we're so similar. Like, she gets so mad and then she just goes off. And
like, you don't need to do all that stuff. And I can go on for hours about how fitness can be very simplified and how nutrition can be very simplified. I actually have the idea of doing a long-term food desert project where I want to go to different food deserts around New York City and look at what a realistic budget looks like for that place. Subscribe if you want to see that in the future, because that's a really important project. I think to really round this out, a lot of people will talk about like economic status and how it prevents us from getting healthy food. I think we need to re-examine what healthy food actually looks like. I think we need to re-examine what food that serves your body nutrition looks like. It is not all green salads and kale. Sometimes your curry chicken is nutritious. You don't have to feel like you're doing yourself a disservice. The issue that people fail to realize is that a lot of ethnic food, because of the history behind the food, had to be calorically dense because of the work that was being done. Mm-hmm. So your curry chicken and your oil down and your beef patties, they were useful at a time where we went out every day to till fields. They were useful at a time where you had to physically go out and get the bag. But now that a lot of us are sedentary and we're still eating our roti and our doubles and our oil down and our beef patties, like, now that we're sedentary, that food is making us fatter, and we think it's because ethnic food is unhealthy. No, ethnic food is not unhealthy. Our lifestyle is unhealthy. If you were going out, because
these are all good points, man. I have nothing else to say, really. Like, this is all good stuff.
Verifiable proof. I watched my dad be like slender his whole life because he worked construction. So he was eating these big meals, but he was burning those calories off consistently throughout the day because he left the house at 5 a.m., came back at 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. You know, like when he was putting in work. So like, it really depends on your lifestyle. So like, If you're gonna,
It depends, bro. That is my most used saying when people ask me questions about losing weight, fitness, all that. It depends. Like, could eating 3,000 calories help you lose weight? Maybe. If you're someone where your TDEE is 4,000, then yeah, eating 3,000 is going to have you lose weight. Could eating 3,000 make you gain weight? Yeah. If your TDEE is 2,500, eating 3,000 is going to be over that, and so you are going to gain weight. Like, it really depends. You have to find out what works for you. And like, if you are someone that is incredibly you have a job that requires a lot of physical labor, the amount of calories you burn during work is going to be so much more than someone that sits at a desk. And that doesn't make you bad or a bad person because you're a more sedentary person. Like, this is what I do for a living. Like, I ain't the most active person in the world outside of going to the gym, right? But guess what? That's why I go. That's why I try to make sure I get in my steps. All of that stuff, like, it all adds up. But just because you see something work for someone else doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to work for you. It depends. Like, it really depends on the person.
Eat a certain way, justify it for your lifestyle, but also be mindful of the fact that certain food you really should be avoiding. I'm sorry, but fast food you should avoid, not because it's gonna make you fat, but because it's not nutritionally dense. You're gonna be hungry again soon, and you already ate 1,200 calories, damn near your daily limit, on food that did not serve your body. There was no nutrition your body could gain from that fast food. It was cooked in so much bullshit that your body doesn't know what to do with it.
And more importantly, I think, for if we're talking about losing weight, it's just those foods are almost always very calorically dense, right? So you have a small amount of food that doesn't take up that much room in your stomach, right? That ends up being half of the amount of calories you can eat for the day. And so you can absolutely eat fast food very frequently and lose weight. But if you are struggling with feeling hungry, is it a good idea to spend half, if not more, of your calories on one meal from a fast food place where you're still not even that full after you eat it? That's going to be up to the person. For some people, that might help them. For other people, it might hurt them. Again, you have to figure out what works for you. But I will say, for the vast majority of us, eating fast food every day probably ain't the answer, right? Probably isn't. But there's definitely I'm sure you guys have heard about the guy that ate Twinkies every day and he lost a weight. The guy that ate McDonald's every day and he lost weight. Like, it's certainly possible. Is it the best way to go about it? Probably not, right?
I doesn't know. And like, this is information that I wish I knew when I was in college, information that I wish I knew when I was in high school. I think we talked about the McDonald's fallacy, where people go, I don't even eat McDonald's, and like, but they're still fat, because nutritionally dense foods matter, and because portion sizes matter. All of that stuff matters. How your body synthesizes the compounds that you eat matters. So no, a calorie is not just a calorie. There is a big difference between a green smoothie and a burger. There is a huge difference. A calorie is not just a calorie. That being said, it doesn't have to be crazy expensive. It doesn't. You don't have to have super mega organic everything. You don't have to live in Whole Foods. It doesn't have to be that way. I shit you not, Spam has never killed me. Spam has never killed me. Yeah, I bought the low sodium version nowadays in my life, but Spam has never killed me. Cut that bitch up, cook it with some egg. Spam has never killed me. Like, be so fucking for real. Be so for real. Anyways, that's really the gist of what I have to say. Do with that information what you will. I think this is going to be my last video in this getup. So my next video, you can see me in like a different outfit or whatever. I'll think about it. But yeah, comment how you feel down below. Let me know your thoughts.
But that's pretty much the video. So, Alana, first off, I want to say, great video. I think a lot of the points, again, there are certain things that I maybe don't 100% agree with, but that's fine. But I think a lot of what you are saying, I think, is very, very important. And it's something that I get so frustrated, not at the person, but it's more at the system, I guess, because I deal with a lot of people that want to lose weight, that are very lost, that don't know what to do, and they feel like they don't have enough money to lose weight. They feel like that it's so unattainable. Stuff like this frustrates me, because at the end of the day, it is simple. Losing weight is simple. That doesn't mean that it's easy. Those are very different things, but it's simple, right? You find what works out for you. You don't need to have this perfect, immaculate diet that you see on TikTok or you see on social media. It's not necessary. And I would say a lot of times that stuff ends up making you fall off because it's not attainable, right? So you find out what works for you, keep it simple, and just keep it pushing, right? And so I do want to say huge thank you, Alana. Great video. I appreciate it. Make sure you go follow her. Give her that subscribe on YouTube. She's trying to hit, I think she said 10K, right? Go do that. If you have anything you want to say, leave it in the comment section down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.